Hey everybody, it's Game Fanatic Cook, and today we'll be talking about Warframe, more specifically, the Kuva Lichs that are in Warframe. I know this isn't a Monster Hunter or Dragon Quest video, which is weird for me, but I'm just trying to branch out, and I am a very big Warframe fan, so I'm going to try include it every once in a while in some videos I'm making. Anyway, Kuva Lichs and Warframe, I think, are a great idea and concept. Basically, there are immortal rivals that you gain as a 10-0. Once you get pretty far in the game, they're very difficult to kill, and they're immortal rivals that you can't kill unless you get certain kind of ruins or relics to defeat them with. And they all are supposed to have like unique personalities. They can be girls, guys, insane, cocky, funny, even in love with you. It's kind of weird, but they're basically enemies that will follow you around, take over different territories, attack you randomly, and stuff like that. And in concept, are a very cool idea. The designs for most of them are super cool. There's all kinds of different designs. It's one thing that I'll give the Kuva Lichs right now, because it is not going to be a positive video about them. But one thing I'll give the Kuva Lich idea props for is just how cool all the designs look and how many different designs and randomizers there are when you get your own Kuva Lich. That's very awesome. Now, I want to talk about what's wrong with the Kuva Lichs, which is quite a bit, and it really sucks because I think Kuva Lichs as an idea is a super cool fucking idea. I mean, Kuva Lichs are just awesome to have your own rival in a game that's like computer created, that is like strong against your weaknesses, that knows what your weaknesses are, that gains like resistances to certain moves and shit. That's such a cool idea to have an enemy like that. But they just don't do it right. And it really sucks because Warframe leaves these half-baked ideas around all the time. It's just a wonderful game. The developers really put tons and tons and tons of work into it, but they always make great ideas and seem to leave them half-baked. It's ridiculous. They always move on to the next thing before perfecting what they're working on. Anyway, the problem with Kuva Lichs, to me, the biggest issue by far, is that they're just not unique enough. Yeah, how I said earlier, each one looks unique, but there's like 4 total different voices for Kuva Lichs. Like, there's barely any different voices for Kuva Lichs. And it's likely that you can get two Kuva Lichs in a row that have the exact same voice. I mean, I don't know the exact number pool for how many voices there are, but let me tell you, it is not high. It is not a high pool at all. The next issue is that, along with that, they all have the same personalities. And the reason I'm making this video is because I was hunting my own Kuva Lich the other day. I was doing it with some squad mates, some clan members of mine. We were killing all our Kuva Lichs on the Saturn Proxima, the final mission to finish off your Kuva Lichs. We go there, we're in the ship killing the galleons, and all 4 of our Kuva Lichs say the same exact thing before we fight them. All 4 have the same exact personality, same voice, and say the same exact thing when we fight them. It was absolutely ridiculous, and it was like an echo chamber of Kuva Lichs, and it just made me think about how bad that was, about how easy it'd be just to get a few more voice actors and a few more personalities, switch up just a little bit, because it's not like they have a ton of voice lines, but it was just so painful that such a cool enemy that you're going back and forth with and Kuva Lichs take a while to kill. Even if you're 100% focused on it, it'll probably take you like 4 hours from scratch to kill a Kuva Lich. And in your first Kuva Lich, it took me like a month to kill my first Kuva Lich because I was trying to do it solo and it was just ridiculously hard. But to have that cool of an enemy, that rival, build up with you, just to sound like, to sound like the same guy everyone else has, sucks. When they're supposed to be unique to each 10-0. And even when you get your next Kuva Lich, there's a high chance they'll be the exact same as your last one. And it just really, really sucks. Because it's such a cool concept, but there's just not enough factors to make them each unique. They have the looks down. You barely ever get 2 that look similar. I mean, they all look similar, but like they all have their own unique look that stands out usually. But the voices, the voice lines, the personalities, it's just not enough. They need to switch it up. And that's my biggest problem with Kuva Lichs. I actually think the hunting of Kuva Lichs, the finding out what relics you need to kill them, and all of that, I think the actual setup and execution of how you fight and kill the Kuva Lichs, and even the gameplay, I think is pretty damn solid. I think one thing it does need to do is it needs to be better balancing with the Kuva weapons. Because, let's be honest, most Kuva weapons are, all the Kuva weapons are good. All of them are better than normal weapons. Most of them are better than normal version of the weapons. But there's a few Kuva weapons that I'm pretty sure we all know that are far better than every other weapon they offer. They are not balanced. I mean, Warframe's always had balancing issues, but it's like there's like 5 high tier Kuva Lick weapons, and the rest are just dog shit. You know what I'm saying? But that's fine. I mean, that happened. That's an issue out throughout the whole game, not Kuva Lick specifically. So it doesn't really need to be a big emphasis in this video. But it's just they're not unique enough. That's I keep going back to that. I know I keep saying it, but it's just such a big problem because it's such a cool concept. They're just not unique enough. I would like to see more specialized Kuva Lick missions as well, like how you go to the Saturn Proxima to hunt down like the final mission to clear Kuva Lick. I think that's fucking awesome, and it was a great addition. They changed. They actually went back and added that because originally with Kuva Licks it would just be 3 relic hits and they're dead. They actually add the Saturn Proxima hunt at the end. I think that's a great addition. I think they should have more instances like that where you fight these Kuva Licks on special missions and not just like a defense mission where there's a chance your Kuva Lick shows up. Like each like stage you go through with it, maybe there's like a special mission you do. I don't know. That's just me spitballing here. And I just think it'd be cool, to build up the personal level more and more with the Kuva Licks. That's just my, personal belief. So yeah, that's just what I want to talk about real quick about how the Kuva Licks are almost like a super fucking awesome concept. And in comparison, I'd like to make 2 Kuva Licks is actually, if any of you have played Middle-earth Shadow of War, the different orcs that you face are very similar to like Kuva Licks in the sense that they each have their own unique, or they're each supposed to have their own unique personality, and they all look different, they all have different abilities, and they actually adapt to what you do. That's something that is very prominent in Middle-earth Shadow of War's rival system, and that is done very well in my opinion. And they do a very well job of that. And if they could include the variety that Shadow of War has, and then make that variety as that big of a variety in Warframe, almost no one will ever have identical licks. Because even in Shadow of War, where you go through hundreds, if not thousands of orcs through a playthrough, you rarely find 2 that are exactly the same. But playing through Warframe, you get a lick like once every like month, unless you're grinding them, and then you're just a weirdo. Not, I'm just joking, but like unless you're grinding them, you're not really going to see them that often. Like you'll have one for a pretty long time, or you'll just go a long time without one. So I mean, you could have like, let's say there's 1,000 different variants, which even in retrospective isn't that much. 1,000 different just like small differences in their voices or their personalities and their voice lines. I mean, it's going to be impossible to ever get the same one over again. Not impossible, but 1 in 1,000 chance. So that's what I'm just talking about right now. And I feel like with the resources, Warframe has at their disposal, Digital Extremes, particularly the studio, has at their disposal. I feel like they could make that work and make it an excellent, excellent system. But I feel like Kuva Licks are just kind of half-baked right now. And they have been for the past couple years. And it's just something that Digital Extremes does seem to do a lot with Warframe, even though the game, like I said, is one of my favorite games of all time. So I hope that changes. I hope they take another look at Kuva Licks and maybe change it up a little bit. I doubt they will, but if they do, that'd be awesome to add more voice lines and shit like that. And they have changed Kuva Licks in the past. Like I said, they added the Saturn Proxima mission, which shows that they will be willing to go back. But it's just, will they? Because they seem to rarely do that. But anyway, guys, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed. It was kind of a rant video. And once again, this is not scripted. I'm still working on a script. This was not the long, hard video I was talking about making. But yeah, and let me know if you guys are interested in Warframe content. Because, I mean, I love Monster Hunter, and I will post Monster Hunter every day of my freaking life. Because that's one of my favorite games of all time, or my favorite series of all time, Monster Hunter is. But I mean, the only games I play, like I play Monster Hunter, I play Warframe. That's the 2 games I always go back to and play the most of. Obviously, I play different games, throughout my life, but those are the 2 games I'm playing the most of. So if you guys really like Warframe 2, please, let me know that, and I will definitely include more Warframe videos. And yeah, that's all I got for this video. Also, there will be music in the link below. I mean, the description below. The music I use will be in the description below. And sometimes I pull a gameplay and I credit them for the people I pull gameplay from in the description below. But I might just actually make my own gameplay for this because I have a means of recording Warframe gameplay. I can't really record Monster Hunter 3 gameplay because, I just don't have the resources for it, which is why I usually pull from people and then just you credit them in the description. But anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Hope you guys have a good one, and peace out.